Welcome back to The Thing About Arsenal. Every Tuesday we're reacting to the latest games, discussing the biggest news and soaking up all the best fan culture around Arsenal women. And we want you guys to join the conversation. Get in touch with us on X at About Arsenal Pod. We're at Thing About Arsenal on Instagram, and it's show at thingaboutarsenal.com on the email if that's what you prefer. So, Rory, welcome back. Hi.
Good to see you.
How was your weekend?
Lovely. We won 2-0.
Exactly. So
it was very nice.
Fantastic.
That's all you really asked for in a weekend. Well,
yes.
I've been hoping for like 6 points weekends a lot where men and women both win. Obviously, it was Cup this weekend.
Ideal.
And we've not, I think there's only been a couple.
Since we started this podcast, a lot of draws, 5 rounds. But not this weekend for the women.
Not this weekend, no.
2-0, Villa, at home, Blackstenius, Little, FA Cup, next round.
Lovely. Tick. Job done. In the hat.
Yes.
What else do you want?
You were there.
I was.
A long old trip to Boreham Wood.
Yeah.
But you love Boreham Wood.
I do love Boreham Wood. And I drove, which we don't always do. Often drive home because someone in the family will drive and then I'll be in central London to get the train and get the drive back. Drove both ways, which...
Made a difference?
I like getting the train to football. It feels
like the atmosphere.
Yeah, it feels part of the ritual of the match day, like being on the train, kind of building up to getting to the ground. I think when you drive, you kind of are just suddenly there, and it's like
I the other day, or just before Christmas, I actually went to a men's game.
Yeah,
and I got one of those like park my car in your driveway situations.
Yes.
I actually don't live that far away, really. But
you're being lazy.
Yeah, I was taking my little brother. I wanted it to be convenient.
Yeah.
Game changer. I was like 10 minutes away walk from the stadium.
Yeah, that is nice.
Unreal.
Well, I used to live a 7-minute walk from the stadium.
I mean, that's ideal.
And now I live an hour on the train away from the stadium.
Yeah, awful life decisions. Anyway, back to the game. We are through to the 5th round of the FA Cup. A very strong team with only 2 changes. Leah Williamson was rested due to a calf injury. Wubben-Moy came in. She had a couple good chances as well on a header. Love that. Blackstenius started ahead of Marnham. How were your feelings around the game? It just seemed like a very professional job is done.
Yeah, I think that the first half I thought we did okay. Villa, I thought to give Villa their credit, I thought they came out with the intention of disrupting us, and they managed to. They managed to make it a wee bit of a fight, particularly in the first 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. And I think we managed to do pretty well to kind of withstand that and then put our own sort of style onto the game, and then that came through in the second half when we scored a couple of goals and kind of got the job done.
We nullified it. Were you saying that in the stands it felt a little bit nervy at the beginning?
Yeah, definitely. It was one of those ones where 20 minutes, kind of 20 minutes in, and you felt like the game hadn't really formed any sort of pattern yet.
Okay.
And I think that came from Villa trying to ultimately try to break up our rhythm and what we were trying to do, and I think they managed to do that in parts, but ultimately not throughout the whole game, and that's how we managed to.
See, these are the things that you kind of miss when you're not at the game. So for full sort of clarity, I was not at the game. I had a game myself, so I couldn't.
And you won.
And we won 4-0 against Millwall. Oi, oi. So I couldn't watch the game, so I watched the extended highlights.
Yes.
And it's funny because when you watch the highlights, you're like, dominant performance.
Yeah, and it's funny because when I went back and watched not the extended highlights but the shorter highlights, having to try and get the perspective of everything I missed.
Yeah.
I did notice that the first highlight was Holmberg crossing the ball in when she didn't come on to the 20th minute. So the first 20 minutes didn't even make it into the shorter highlight of the game, which I guess maybe shows that part kind of will get lost in the wash ultimately.
Which I guess is it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing. Were you surprised that we went with such a strong team?
No, I don't think so. I think that FA Cups I know we've got a lot of games coming up.
Yeah.
But the FA Cup is historically our cup. Yeah. And what was the last time we played Villa? Yeah. So.
No, I do agree. And I think that I was pleased we played a strong team in the sense that, I really, as we talked about last week, I really want to go far in the FA Cup this season. I'm glad that we're taking it seriously. I'm also interested to see how this week's going to pan out because we've obviously got Man United on Wednesday and then Chelsea next weekend. So that's 3 massive games. And you kind of think, you're going to have to rest players at some stage during that. Obviously, you kind of feel like your Kim Littles, your Alessia Russos are probably going to start all those games, Steph Catleys.
Yeah.
But there's going to have to be points where certain players in the squad do change, and what game will that be and what players will that be?
What's after the Chelsea game? Because I feel like, obviously your training schedule changes a lot in that time, so load becomes a lot less.
Yeah.
You want your starters to start in all of those games, really.
Yeah.
I think if we had pumped Villa last time we met them.
Yeah,
maybe.
I know what you mean. But like, you kind of feel like they've had our number.
Yeah.
And we need to make sure that we can get through that game. And after Chelsea, it is the Champions Cup semi-final against AS FAR, who I think we should be able to rotate against and still beat. So maybe you kind of think, right, this week, you just say, look, it's going to be a big week. You've got to get up for these 3 games.
Yeah.
And then we can maybe rest a few players going into next week.
Yeah. And they will be. All the players want to play in the big games. Before we get into those, Kim Little, she got a goal and she got an assist. I love watching Kim Little play football.
You said her name and I smiled.
Yeah, so
it's just
a little twinkle in your eye.
it's the only natural response. She was great. I mean, my favourite Arsenal player.
Is she?
Yeah, for sure.
Same.
For sure.
Same.
And I think it's funny that we both have that reaction because in a world where Arsenal women have more and more superstars,
yeah,
I think she's the one that always gets forgotten. Maybe because she's not English or didn't get kind of the lioness treatment that likes of Beth Mead and Leah Williamson got. But like, she is Arsenal and has been for the best part of the last, I know she's kind of gone away and come back, but ultimately the best part of the last 20 years.
Yeah.
She has been Arsenal. And like, I think she is a person we will feel the loss the most when she eventually does leave the club.
Yeah. I think in terms of like legendary status, technician,
yeah,
you know, and obviously just scores goals, assists goals, does the hard work, does all the not like the things you don't notice as well.
Yeah. And I think she's done the great thing that I think a lot of great midfielders do, kind of come through young, getting forward, getting into the box, scoring goals. And then as they get older and more mature, they just come that little bit deeper and they take a little bit more responsibility into the kind of way the whole team is going to play around them. And I think that role really suits her now.
Yeah.
And we do see her not score an assist as often, but she also, when the team really needs her, because actually throughout a lot of the season, we have lacked a little bit of quality in the final third. And you could have said a little bit about that in this game as well. And then she just steps up in the second half and provides that quality to put the ball on a plate for both.
And it's always very beautiful.
100%.
Yeah.
It's aesthetically pleasing.
It is, yeah. Someone called it a classic Kimmy shimmy, the assist was.
Couldn't have put it better.
She scored in 15 different seasons with Arsenal, like we said, legendary status, and has scored in 6 more seasons for other clubs. So Kim, she's been here for a long time.
She has. And
it's impressive.
Yeah, it's so impressive. And so Jim has a theory. He picked up from someone else, but he has a theory that the top players have about 500 games before they start to decline.
Oh, where's this theory come from? Don't know.
We'll get Jim on the blower. We'll find out.
Yeah,
I'll ask him and let you know for next week. But he has this theory because I actually heard him talking about that in relation to Martin Odegaard, who is obviously someone we don't see as that old, but because he started playing so young, is actually not that far away from that 500 games. So maybe we might see a drop-off with him, or some of the drop-offs we've seen has been because of that. The thing I like about Kim Little is that she's 35, right?
Yeah.
And you think that the drop-off's coming, but crucially, she's only played about 460 games.
Okay, shut up, Jim.
So we could
blow that out of the water.
But what I'm saying is, if the 500 things is 2, I reckon 40 games we could get at least 2 more seasons out of Kim Little.
Ideal.
Which is great.
She gives me hope for my own career. I'm 34 now.
Yeah. How many games do you think you've played?
All in my whole life.
Yeah.
Oh, got no idea.
Your adult playing career.
I've played about 100 and I must be on about 120 now for Dulwich.
Okay.
Yeah. But we don't have as many games as Arsenal.
Well, so maybe you can then go on a lot longer. I reckon you got 5 to 10 more years easy.
Wow. Yeah, I'm going to have to drink a lot of collagen for that. So let's see. I was thinking maybe a few more seasons, but let's see how these knees do. On Friday before the game, Renee Slegers spoke about how she's been in touch with an orchestra conductor over the past couple of years to exchange ideas. What do you think of that? It's giving...
Mikel Arteta.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
I just love that our manager is as weird as Mikel Arteta. It gives me so much hope for the future that Renée Slegers is as weird. Because I think you see all the best managers obviously Arteta has this. I think Pep has a little bit of this.
Yeah.
They are weird and they're a little bit like David Brent at times.
Yeah.
And this is giving that to a T.
Yeah, they're all a little bit outside the box, but surely all the best managers are, like you said, a little bit strange in that situation.
I think you have to be. Like, there's a line. You can't be like so tragic that the players just think you're a laughingstock.
Yes.
But you have to also find new ways of inspiring players every single week. So you do have to do different things at times. You do have to get a light bulb out and stand on the table, you know?
Yeah. There are definitely some good managers that I can't imagine doing something like that, though. But I like the fact that ours is.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
Do you think that, like, Alex Ferguson
Absolutely not.
was doing any of this?
No. None at all.
Emma Hayes?
No.
Emma Hayes is just...
Maybe.
She purred at Jonas Eideveld that one time, didn't she? Because he was afraid of black cats.
Okay, yeah, that was quite funny.
She is a bit weird still, so maybe.
I think, to be honest, to be a manager, you probably have to be a bit bonkers.
Yeah, I think
so. It is full on. Hard job.
You have to be an obsessive.
Yes.
And it's obsessive people generally do have like quirks.
Yeah, this is hers, being
Definitely.
a conductor. She said there's a lot of similarities in the way that a conductor needs to lead the orchestra, how you train, how you get everyone working together, executing their roles with confidence and so forth, which, I could get behind.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. But you could also, I feel like you could also connect it to like any job.
Yeah, 100%.
I was speaking to a dog walker the other day and you just have to get the pack to walk together. Like, you could just do it with anything.
There's actually a great dog walker who walks by the Emirates when I used to walk to work by the Emirates, who had like 10 dogs with them every morning.
Yeah.
So maybe that is like some sort of Renée Slegers.
Renee's been on the phone.
This has got me thinking, if Arsenal had an orchestra,
amazing.
Who's playing what? I'm like, McCabe's on percussion.
Obviously.
And like full cymbals, not just a little triangle in the corner.
Yeah.
I know Leah Williamson plays the piano.
Yeah, stick her on the keys.
So she can be on keys.
Yeah.
Caldentey is like lead saxophonist on the saxophone.
Okay.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Like, kind of has a nice solo, likes to take the limelight.
Yeah.
But also can fly under the radar if needed.
Okay.
That's what I'm
Who's
kind
on
of
like
watching.
the trumpet?
Oh, I don't know about
it's
the
quite
trumpet.
key. But
I think Lotte Wubben-Moy's on the trumpet.
Oh, yeah.
I think so. I can see that.
I was thinking maybe something a bit more delicate. Not, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Trumpet's just... that doesn't scream Wubben-Moy, but maybe something a bit like classier.
Maybe that's more like Black Stanius.
Yeah, I think so. That's Black Stanius, yeah.
The only other thing I can think of is that Alessia Russo is definitely playing the clarinet.
Okay, yeah. I put Wubben-Moy on the violin.
Yeah, I was thinking about this last night and I couldn't work out who's playing the violin. I think you've answered the question.
Yeah, I think that. I want to see this. I would love to see this. Where's the BBC Orchestra put it together for us? This
is the documentary we want.
This is the documentary. We're going to talk about Ellie Roebuck a little bit in this game.
Yeah.
Because did you see what happened in real time?
No. Okay. I was only later in the game. She was obviously went down, and then later in the game I was like, oh, her eyes bleeding.
She went down. As soon as she went down, you're like, get out.
No. I think...
After the other week.
This is a lesson to all goalkeepers.
Yeah.
Right. So if Fallon Tullis-Joyce can do what she did last week, and Ellie Roebuck can take getting booted in the face by Stina Blackstenius like an absolute champion, it puts all other goalkeepers to shame. Completely.
Did she literally take it like a champ?
She took it like an absolute champ. She was literally saving goals with one eye later in the match.
I did see that bit.
It was quite incredible. And actually, to be fair, Ellie Roebuck came out of this with a lot of credit in my bank because she, as the North Bank at Meadow Park like to do, was getting all the usual, like, oh, you're shit, like, you know, getting in her head.
Bit of shithousery.
Bit of shithousery, you know, nothing vicious.
Yeah.
And she just got on with it, you know, was still taking her time, cleaning her boots before she kicked it, you know, just letting the crowd get worked up a little bit.
We love it.
She was just there for it. She just took it really well, despite getting booted in the face by Stina. So more Ellie Roebuck, please. Okay.
So your message to the goalkeepers in the WSL is that when you're playing Arsenal, you better not go down unless you get booted in the face.
Yeah, exactly.
By Stinius, in which case it's fine.
I think this shows that if there's not blood, play on.
Wow. Dislocation? No, you're fine. Holmberg, she came on.
Yeah.
Fox appeared to get a neck or a head injury, which actually wasn't on the highlights at all. So
she actually didn't look. I'm a bit concerned about that. Like, she looked a little bit not in a good way. So hopefully she recovers and gets back fit and healthy soon.
And then Holmberg came on. She looked bright. She looked really bright.
So attacking.
Yeah.
So attacking.
Exciting.
I remember you told me that the NWSL was once all out offense. She would fit in the NWSL for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely loves getting forward. But she was really, like, I think it's great to have her. We talked about last week kind of her role, kind of maybe playing fiddle to Emily Fox, but also offering something different. I think we really saw that in this game. Like, I think Emily Fox is a brilliant player. I'm going to keep saying it. And in a world where they're both fit, I can't see Emily Fox not starting. But to have an option who can offer genuine width and whip the ball in really well could be a really important weapon for us, because that's one thing that Emily Fox doesn't necessarily do as much of. She likes to kind of come in, sort of not quite invert, but sort of make those like underlap sort of runs, like inside the winger, if you know what I mean. And obviously she's just like really good defensively and really kind of compact. Well, Holmberg just looks like she wants to stay outside and whip the ball in all day with real quality, which I think could, to have that sort of variation in our attack, could offer something really unique and different. And also particularly with Beth Mead role, Beth Mead's been less of a winger this season and more of like a kind of second number 10 in the way that she's kind of drifted inside quite a lot. I'm assuming that's because of Mariona playing a little bit deeper with the way that we're setting up. So actually them two work together really well, that Beth Mead could do that, and then Holmberg still offered the width outside her. Yeah. And it just seemed to click quite nicely down that right-hand side, which again is really reassuring, because I think for a long time it's been, if Emily Fox isn't playing, it's Katie McCabe or it's Taylor Hines filling in for her. And now we've got like a genuine, really good option, like second option there.
Yeah, I think from what I saw, it seemed really exciting. And we want a little bit more speed in that fullback position, I think. And she just had that, she had the left back on toast.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, Rachel Maltby was playing like left wing back, and she's like 18 years old.
Yeah, she looked like a baby.
Yeah, she's young.
Yeah, she's young. Yeah,
yeah, bless her. I know they did change that at half time, so clearly they're
around the same age, are they not? Oh,
yeah, well, that is the thing, because Holmberg's 19, and I did think that like it's like the 19-year-old right back and against the 18-year-old left back, and they looked like a physical gap as well as just I don't know. I mean, I think Rachel Maltby's done well. No kind of slander on her, no shade on her, but yeah, she had a tough task to deal with Holmberg.
Yeah. She'd be snapping our ankles if she was running out.
Absolutely. I don't have any ankles left to snap.
Last week, we asked you to get in touch if you were heading to Meadow Park at the weekend, and Gemma has done just that. So she emailed us on show@thingaboutarsenal.com to say, great to see the return of second half Arsenal. Haven't heard that in a while. But I have to agree with what you said on the podcast last week about the atmosphere being more exciting at Boreham Wood than at the Emirates. There are too many people eating sweets is her evaluation of that. What do you make of all the sweet eaters at the Emirates?
I feel a bit seen by this.
Oh, that's you, is it?
I love a bag of sweets at the football. And I actually tried a Biscoff cream egg at the game.
I feel like you should start like some kind of Instagram page where it's like
review my plate.
Yeah, exactly. It's like food at the games. Situation.
Yeah, because we obviously had bone marrow last week. Tried a Biscoff cream egg. Decent. I don't love a cream egg. And
at the Emirates?
No, I brought it with me.
Oh, okay.
To Meadow Park.
Right.
And
you get me excited every time you say that. I'm like, at the Emirates?
No,
it's never at the Emirates.
Never at the Emirates. It's always kind of DIY food stuff.
Okay, fair. You just stuff in your pockets.
Yeah. But I mean, I do understand where Gemma's coming from, because, as I was saying last week, like the atmosphere at Boreham Wood is really exciting. And the atmosphere at the Emirates is great. And I love seeing how many people we have at those games. But I think it's going to take time to get to the stage where it's like electric for the 90 minutes. I kind of feel like the atmosphere flows with the pattern of the game a little bit, which is, I guess, partly a victim of having so many people, that it kind of is always going to be a little bit different to kind of having your kind of diehard 3,000 fans.
Yeah.
And as I said, I've had some really amazing moments at the Emirates where it's been absolutely fire. But it just ebbs and flows a little bit more, so I can understand where Gemma's coming from.
I think it's only natural, isn't it, when you transition from like that smaller, closer stadium to, a 60,000 seater stadium where it's not full every week, it is going to take quite a bit of time, I think, to build that atmosphere. It's just not going to be just not going to be the same.
And it's still great, and it's still by far the best in the league. So, like,
yeah, we're spoiled.
We are spoiled.
What are we doing? Yeah. Shut up. Shut up, Lucian and Rory.
So before we go for a break, what's one thing you'd like to forget and one thing that you think you'll remember?
I would like to forget Roebuck getting booted in the face. Not always nice to see.
No, it's not.
But she's fine. I would love to remember Kim Little's assistant goal because, it's Kim Little.
Yeah.
How about you?
I think even more specific than that, with the thing I like to remember is not only when Kim Little scored, she had the most broadest smile on her face.
Is that when she did a little jump?
Yeah. And that just made me feel really happy. And I want to just carry that feeling with me everywhere I go. And then like to forget, we've not mentioned it, but there was a pretty nasty moment where Beth Mead looked like she could have had a bad-ish injury. She kind of went down off the ball, but she got up and played on, so it's fine. And just Beth Mead ever getting injured again is something I'd like to forget.
Okay,
let's
forget about that.
Yeah.
After the break, it's time for our review of Only in the Land. Only in the Land, Arsenal's 4-part documentary has dropped, and we spoke about the trailer last week. I've watched 2 episodes. Thoughts so far?
Good.
Is that it?
Yeah, Come on. No, so I've watched a couple more episodes than you.
Yeah. So don't give away the ending.
No, what's going to happen? And I felt like it really, like the first couple, I was like, this is great, but it does feel like a kind of highlights package of the season rather than like a behind the scenes. And then by the time I got to the end, I was like, no, this is everything I wanted.
Oh, because I felt like it was quite behind the scenes the first 2 episodes.
Well, it gets even better, I tell you that.
Right.
It gets even better.
You wanted more tea.
Yeah.
That's what you wanted.
Well, I think because the last episode is only about the final.
Okay.
So you get like everything that surrounds it, the build up, conversation with the players, like all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's great.
I felt like it could have. So I've watched the first 2, and obviously it talks about like the end of Jonas and the beginning of Renee.
Yeah.
And like her taking over the squad, and then how there was an interim period. Weren't sure. I felt like they could have made about 8 episodes about that.
Yeah, and I think that's where I wanted the tea. I think a little bit more.
They were never going to give you the tea.
Well,
Rory.
exactly. And this is where I've got to check myself. But I think that's where I wanted like. What really happened?
Okay.
So who really didn't like you?
It's an in-house production. Not going to happen. You need the Netflix series, the way they just sign all their rights away.
Yeah, 100%.
And you get all the gossip.
Exactly. We can only hope. We can dream.
Maybe one day. Katie McCabe did a great interview with The Guardian where she spoke about the celebrations at the end. Obviously, we know the ending.
Yeah.
They won the Champions League. Some of the best lines, I do actually remember everything.
Yeah.
No, do you?
It's concerning when you have to justify.
Were you at the Champions League celebration?
I wasn't.
Oh.
I was in Guatemala.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So I watched the final in an Airbnb with just me and my partner.
Oh, wow.
Which was great, but I was jealous because I had other family members that were in Lisbon, and I was quite jealous. It was the only time because we went and did a bit of traveling, it was the only time when I was that far away. I was thinking actually being back home would have been nicer. Yeah,
I actually have something to admit on air.
Okay.
I wanted to go to the final.
Yeah.
I had a gig the same day of the final.
Yeah.
And I was like, we're in Champions League final. Should I cancel my gig?
And you didn't.
I didn't because I was like, that's bad. I cancel my gig, but also Champions League final. But a part of me was like, Barcelona in the Champions League final.
I do respect that.
Yeah.
Because I think although it would have been amazing for you, you would have let a lot of people down. And we can't be
doing that. And I reckon if I cancelled my gig in a wedding, it would have been bad juju and we would have lost the fight.
100%.
No?
And you got to think, what would Kim Little have done in that situation?
She would have gone to my gig and DJ'd.
And let you play a midfield for Arsenal.
Yeah. But I did go to the celebrations.
Yes.
And I did witness Katie McCabe having a fantastic time.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, and you were thinking, I'm not going to remember this.
No. She said in that same interview that I think it sounded like she had a little bit of a fear the day after.
Well, how did you feel about her starting her own chant?
I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was hilarious. I thought the whole thing was hilarious and great. I loved it. I went the night before. Me and my mates were talking on WhatsApp, who are Arsenal fans, and I was like, bang up for the parade or whatever it was, trophy lift.
Yeah.
And I was like, where can we get red flares?
Yeah.
Like, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, quick turnaround, couldn't get red flares. Actually got there at 10 a.m. in the morning. It's not really red flare. It's not really red flare environment.
But I think it can be a red flare environment if you want it to be a red flare environment.
Yeah, but there was a lot of like kids and
Right.
families, and it was like 10 in the morning,
Yeah.
and I would have been a bit out of place, and I just got a
Yeah.
bit excited, to be honest.
But I think that's as is your right.
Yeah, it is my right.
I think
actually,
that is your right.
But Katie McCabe brought that kind of energy.
Yeah.
and I was here for it.
No, I was completely here for it. In terms of her starting her own chant, I'm in a bit of an awkward position with this because I gave Mark Cucurella a lot of shit when he did that.
Oh, okay.
But I'm allowing it when it's Kate McCabe.
She's just won the bloody Champions
Exactly.
League. Let the woman live. Let her live.
Again, as is her right.
Exactly, as is her right.
A few other things that the doc brought home. Always nice to hear from Jen Beattie.
Oh yeah, she was the narrator.
Yeah,
Wasn't
she was the narrator.
Yeah, I like that.
And I think because for a lot of, I guess, more modern Arsenal women's fans who maybe obviously don't remember 2007, and a lot of fans have come to it in the time since, our kind of one of our biggest European moments was the game against Wolfsburg,
Yep.
which obviously didn't go away, but the big part of that was Jen Beattie bodying Pop and just like stamping her authority on that situation. And obviously Jen Beattie moves on before the Champions League, and I think a much loved Arsenal player. It's a shame she wasn't able to be a part of that. So I'm glad that she got to do the documentary because she at least gets a little something in that sort of Champions League glory.
Yeah, I like hearing past legend players
Definitely.
on like team documentaries.
Definitely.
Keeps it within the family.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you know what I mean?
100%. And there's actually, when you get to episode 4, they do a lovely bit with Kelly Smith, which is really
Ah, okay.
That's
They
great.
kind of also explained what Jodie Taylor's role was.
Yes.
Because we were like, we weren't sure.
They
last
did.
Week. Yeah.
That was great. And actually, maybe you're right. We got all the behind the scenes we needed. Because that was her in her old role.
Yes.
Where she was kind of updating the team about Jonas and, well, more the search to replace Jonas and how that was going. And obviously that's a kind of more junior version of what she might be doing.
Yeah.
in
So
the
we got a
future.
little bit of insight.
Yeah, that was nice.
Answered our own question there.
That was nice. The only other thing to make it kind of more, two more things. One, great to see Rennie with her hair down. I was waiting for her to start smoking a cigar, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, the way she was sat was very like,
Yeah.
she looked like Tony Soprano.
100%.
Yeah, I was
She is
excited
like,
for that.
this is my kingdom.
Yeah.
And a more serious football point is it made me realize how much Mariona and Chloe Kelly were involved in like a lot of the really good attacking stuff we did last season.
Okay.
When you saw the goals, they seemed to be at the heart of a lot of them. And it was like, oh, maybe that's what we've missed from this
Is this to
season.
come? I don't think I've seen this bit yet.
So
At the moment, she's banging in penalties.
Yeah, so Chloe Kelly definitely.
Okay.
Mariona kind of a bit more throughout.
Okay. I'm looking forward to it. Especially if the last 2 episodes are better than
Yeah.
the first 2, because I just really enjoyed it. But like I said, I'm just a sports documentary.
you are the target audience.
Yeah. Tick. Absolute tick. After the break, 2 huge games in the space of 4 days. League Cup semi-final, Arsenal versus Man United Wednesday at 7 o'clock. The first of 2 huge fixtures this week, and also the first of 4 games, so many games, in the next 10 days with the Champions Cup next week. Considering how strong the starting 11 was in the FA Cup, which we just spoke about, will it be more of the same? I think so.
I think so. I think we'll see, in terms of the starting 11, I think we'll see like a few subtle changes. I would imagine Taylor Hines will play at some stage, and I'd probably suggest maybe this game. Rennie seems to trust her, give Kate McCabe a little bit of a break. I imagine you'll see Marnham come back in, and maybe Caitlin Ford would be my completely uneducated guess.
Purely from a fan perspective.
Yeah, from a fan perspective, that's what I'd expect. From a fan perspective, although I would like to see I'd love to see Victoria Pelova start this game in that number 10 position, because I think we've seen a lot of Marnham this season, and I like Marnham, but she's quite patchy and she's not creative in the way someone like Caldentey is. And I think she's a different type of player that's more likely to get in the box and get a goal per se, but she's maybe not going to like assist others. And I think if anyone's in, obviously Caldentey is not able to play that at the moment because of kind of Queenie Cross not being available. But if anyone could play a similar role to what she plays, I think at her best it could be Victoria Pelova. And I think maybe in the Subway Cup, if we're going to rotate slightly in that position, I'd like to see her get a go.
Okay, so you think it's going to be a similar lineup to when we last played them?
Yeah, I think similar with maybe the odd tweak here or there.
Is there an update on Emily Fox? Not yet.
All I know is that apparently it wasn't down as a concussion substitution.
Okay.
So it's not head injury, so it's a bit more, like it was a concussion, it'd be 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But I imagine we'll maybe see Holmberg start as well again, just to give her a little bit of time. And she's pretty clearly proved that she can do that.
Yeah, I just hope that it's not as a frustrating game as the 0-0 draw that we saw 10 days ago.
Yeah.
Because that had me shouting at the telly a bit.
100%. And I think like we're going to see Tillis Joyce again.
Yeah.
So soon afterwards. But maybe she'll watch Ellie Roebuck and learn a few lessons.
No, you're going to be fuming, mate.
Yeah, I know, I am. But you were saying that you've got good memories of Man United's games past generally.
Yes, yeah. Which is why I think I found the Man United game quite frustrating, obviously because of the red card as well. We're playing against 10 men. But like we said in that podcast, almost harder to play against 10 men sometimes when they're playing so defensively. So hoping this game's a bit more open, don't see any red cards. But yeah, I think it's always a good game against Man United.
Yeah.
And always something happens.
Well, until this season.
It's
been cursed this season. But like, again, from watching the doc, it reminded me that our game against them in the last season was 4-3.
Yeah.
Like, completely other end of the spectrum. And I think given that it's like a cup match and you have to have a winner, I feel like we will see the better end of the spectrum in Arsenal Man United games. Is what I hope, anyway.
That's fingers crossed. In her presser on Friday, Slegers said that Van Domselaar has a chance to be back. I'm sure this excites you. While Chloe Kelly has done some work on the pitch, but still doesn't have a timeline. So obviously, she's out.
Vague.
Yeah,
it does excite me. I think Van Domselaar is excellent. On her day, one of the best goalkeepers in Europe. But I also think Borba's been really good.
Been pretty solid.
She's been great. Like, I love Manu Zinsberger, but I never felt comfortable every time she had to play last season. But Borba, I've just felt completely at ease. So it makes me feel like we don't have to rush back Van Domselaar.
Do we still think we're going to go for someone in the January window then?
What, goalkeeper?
Yeah.
I don't think so. The impression I'm getting is not. Obviously, we brought back Naomi Williams on loan, I think, just to kind of add a bit of depth there with Zinsberger's ACL and Van Domselaar's injury. But I think given that Borba has looked so composed I think she had a moment in that first game she came in, but since then she's looked like she's solid, exactly. I think Renee actually now trusts her and think, you know what, Van Domselaar's coming back anyway. You've been an able deputy. Let's just leave it. Let's look to strengthen elsewhere if we're going to strengthen.
Fair. I think that's fair. Chelsea versus Arsenal Saturday, 12:30. It's a very quick turnaround with Chelsea at lunchtime on Saturday. This game has previously been all about the title race, but it does not feel that way this time.
No. This is always the biggest game of the season for me.
Yeah.
Chelsea at Chelsea.
Yeah.
And I've got really bad memories of it in recent seasons.
Yeah, it always kind of like gives me the shivers a little bit.
100%. I think we had last year we played well and gave away that penalty at the end. McCabe got sent off.
Yeah,
which was
in the documentary.
What the documentary didn't show was Aaron Cuthbert waving at me, and it was at me specifically. It wasn't the Arsenal fans as a whole. It was personal slight on me as she walked off the pitch to kind of be like, "Thanks for coming," basically.
No way.
Yeah,
she looks you deep into your soul.
Yeah, like. Whether she remembers, she might have thought she was looking at the whole crowd. I could see her looking at me.
What did you do to make her do that, Rory?
I was very well behaved. I'm a very calm and collected watcher of football. I'll cheer when my team do well.
Yeah.
I won't moan too loudly when my team don't do well.
Yeah.
I'm actually normally quite like, a great example of this, Arsenal Wolves in the men's team.
Yeah.
When we conceded in the 91st, 92nd minute, something like that. And then obviously scored the winner straight afterwards. In the 5 minutes before Wolves scored, everyone around me in the stadium was getting really nervous, being like, Arsenal, wake up. And I was just being there like, guys, chill out. Like, we're fine. And then Wolves scored, and I was like, now I'm the dickhead.
Yeah.
But that is like generally symbolic of my football watching. I'm always the one being like, it's not as bad as you think.
Okay. So you're saying she scanned the Arsenal away end.
Yeah.
She saw a calm, collected fan.
Yes.
And thought, I'm going to sarcastically wave at you.
Exactly.
Right, okay.
I felt the Scots well. Absolutely outrageous. So yeah, that was last year. And then the year before was Sockgate, which was
bloody hell.
the worst thing I've ever been involved with.
Bizarre.
And the worst part about it, well, no, the second part about it, obviously the worst part about it is wearing the Chelsea socks. But the second worst part about it was the game was delayed 50 minutes. So the Chelsea pre-game disco went on longer than it normally would, and it was painful.
Right, bad song choices.
Bad song choice. Like, it just gave kids' birthday party.
Right, yeah. So when I play on Sundays, obviously our dressing rooms are quite close, usually next door to each other.
Yeah.
And music is blaring, so you can hear each other's music. Yeah. You're often trying to drown out the other person's music. And I judge that dressing room quite heavily on what they're playing.
Yes, big time.
Yeah. And if I hear utter rubbish, I'm like, I don't like this team.
Does that give you extra motivation?
Oh, yeah. There's some people that like, I'm like, pretty good track selection.
All right, fine. If we get beat by this lot, I'm not going to moan too much.
Not too much.
So if you were playing at Stamford Bridge and it was like full kids disco around you, would that give you extra motivation?
Yeah, fuming. On Sundays, I'm not losing to a team playing Taylor Swift. Right? It's not happening. That's the pre-match talk.
That's the team talk sorted.
Yeah. Sorry to all the Swifties. There are many of you.
I'm sure there'll be a few fans.
Exactly. Chelsea have scored 19 goals in their last 3 games, which is a bit terrifying, if I'm being honest with you.
Sam Kerr is back.
Yeah, she's back with a vengeance, mate.
Yeah, but maybe I'm being a bit overly blasé about this, but I'm not too worried about that in particular, because I do think we are pretty well organised as a team, and we are actually quite hard to break down and score against. We had mad moments of the season. The Man City game, we had 3 of them and conceded 3 goals earlier in the season, but that kind of felt like more of a one-off. In a lot of the other games I've seen this season, we have been pretty difficult to play against defensively. And I do think that even though Chelsea are scoring a lot of goals and Sam Kerr is looking the business again, I think we are a good team as well, and we shouldn't be too scared of that.
I don't think we'll be scared.
Yeah.
Like, I think we've played enough big games. Like, the whole team have played enough big games to walk into that game and feel confident. But yeah, there is a little bit of history there where we go away to Chelsea and especially with like Sockgate and stuff like that, things go a bit crazy. But I feel like I'm not terrified, but I always just get a bit nervous around this game.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Because it is like, for me, everyone hates Tottenham, but Chelsea are the team are up there with Tottenham for me.
Yeah. From a women's point of view.
Particularly from the women's point of
100%.
view. I think because the rivalry at the top of the league is always
I
think particularly more so because it's only in the last couple of years that Tottenham have even become somewhat competitive.
Yeah.
And also just going to Stamford Bridge and winning would just feel so sweet.
Yeah.
I'm up for it.
Every time I've actually gone to an Arsenal-Chelsea game, we've lost.
Oh, gosh.
So I'm not going.
Well, perfect. Stay away.
Yeah, I'm not going.
Stay away. You got a gig?
I'm not going.
Book a gig on Arsenal-Chelsea every time.
Every time. So I'm not going. But also, my best mate is like an avid Chelsea fan. I just never hear the end of it. Like, particularly like women's Chelsea fan. And she just doesn't stop. And she needs to stop.
You don't need that.
I need to make
life.
her stop.
Yeah.
So are you going to the game?
I am, yeah.
Exciting.
Yeah. Hopefully Aaron Cuffett doesn't wait for me.
Are you going to get your own back, Aaron Cuffett?
No, I'm going to be the bigger person.
You're going to fly that Scottish flag, not me. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of The Thing About Arsenal. Laura and Jim are back tonight for an on-the-whistle reaction to the men's trip to the San Siro to face Inter. Rory and Laura will be back with another episode of About Arsenal Women next Tuesday. In the meantime, we'd love to hear your questions and comments in response to today's episode. Find us at Thing About Arsenal on Instagram, at About Arsenal Pod on X, or email us on show@thingaboutarsenal.com. gmail.com. And most importantly of all, hit subscribe wherever you're watching and listening. We really appreciate your support and it really helps us here at the pod. Thanks, Rory.
Thank you.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye.